Varlamore Part 2, Take 1. Hello, I'm Gentle Tractor. I am a member of the Old School RuneScape community. So as part of my visit here to Jagex and the Old School team today, I've been asked to reveal some of the details about Varlamore Part 2 and what kinds of things you might be able to expect. I first started playing Old School RuneScape as it came out back in 2013. Prior to that, I'd played the original RuneScape back in the early 2000s, 2002, 2003. As the years went on, seeing the way Old School developed, it really captured my attention a lot more, especially because of the community-driven nature of how all the content was being designed and developed. I think that's what really spurred me on to want to kind of get a bit involved myself. I've shared and contributed a number of different things over the years, design ideas, bits of feedback here and there. So Varlamore as a region in Old School RuneScape dates back shortly after the release of Great Kurend and what was once kind of called Zaya and that continent. I created and shared a map that was showing a hypothetical reimagining of what that area could kind of look like with some different tweaks and improvements. It was like, what if there was this other hypothetical kingdom, the Kingdom of Varlamore? From that point onwards, it sort of inadvertently became sort of accepted and a part of the game's canon, and then was subtly and slowly referenced to in a number of different places in game. And sort of in just this past year or so, getting in touch with the Old School RuneScape team, who have reached out basically to ask and see if I wanted to contribute to fleshing out a more complete concept of what Varlamore could look like. There was definitely a lot of going back and looking through some of the early iterations, like my very first early draft. There's also some other fantastic player-made incarnations of that. I'll give a special shout out to another community member by the name of Zigzagzagle, who did a fantastic Varlamore interpretation of their own. That was kind of like an iteration on my original one. It really is shaping up to be something that's like an extremely heavily community-driven area and designed area and been molded and sculpted by so many different hands that have gone into working on it. The first thing coming in Varlamore Batch 2 will be the island of Aldarin, an island that contains a couple of different things, including a very interesting and old school RuneScape-y feeling quest that involves a murder mystery, as well as some new skilling content, such as a Herblore Activity that takes advantage of some of the local and unique features in the area. This is going to give some exciting new Herblore items, as well as providing new content for level 70+. The second thing coming with Varlamore Batch 2 will be the Hailstorm Mountains. On top of these mountains, you might find yourself a fearsome new group boss that you can battle it out with you and some friends. It's been really interesting and exciting getting a chance to visit the Jagex offices today and see a little sneak peek behind the scenes of what Varlamore's looking like. It's both fascinating and surreal seeing it actually come to life and physically being able to walk around a place that I've kind of helped envision and see, and seeing that go full circle as a long journey has been a really cool one. And I want to send a big expression of thanks and gratitude to everyone on the Old School team and here at Jagex today for making the trip that I've had a wonderful experience. Players should be excited for Varlamore Part 2 because there's some really interesting new pieces of content, especially in skills that have been perhaps a bit traditionally underutilized, like Herblore. I think that has a lot of very interesting creative potential there, as well as the idea of having another, maybe more traditional style group boss, but with a lot of the interesting complexity of mechanics and depth that we see in modern boss design. I think the combination of those two is going to be really compelling to a lot of players.